Hey guys, it's Masatonic. I'm bilingual Harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。バイリンガルハルキストのマサトニックです。Happy New Year 2022. So this is the first video which I make in 2022, and I'm very excited to talking about this Murakami's very interesting short story, which is called Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. This is really, really interesting and one of my favorite short story actually. So let's get started. As always, this video consists of three parts: first, overview, and second, story, and third, deep reading. So first overview. This work is contained in the first person singular. It's a short story collection published in 2024 April. And the one thing really interesting point of this short story is this is style is essay style, like short story. So when you first read this story, you might feel this is not a short story, but much more essay. I mean, in Murakami's personal, how to say, the actually happened things to Murakami, and he write about it like a diary or essay. So you might think that way, but from my understanding, this is not like that. This is literally short story, which is invented or wrote in Murakami's by Murakami's imagination. That's what that is my interpretation of this work. Of course, there's no 100% right answer to interpretation of these kind of literary works, but that's my interpretation. Yes, the one reason is my thoughts is this work, Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova, is contained in the short story collection, not an essay collection. So that's the point. And then the short story collection titled First Person Singular. So as you can see by the title, there's every short stories in that short story collection is written in first person singular, that manner. So in a way, this essay-like style is one pattern of that, how to say, Murakami's literary technique. That's what I thought. So what kind of story? Let's take a look at this story. This story first begins with the fake record review. This is really, really interesting. And the description is really, how to say, interesting to read. Because the Murakami himself is really big fan of jazz music, and he wrote about so many jazz and also classical music essay in another book or literary essay. And so I know, or we know, he's very good at writing record review, but in that kind of his style, he wrote the fake record review in this first beginning of this short story. And that record is called Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. If you are not interested in jazz or jazz music, you don't know this title's weirdness, because Charlie Parker is a kind of legendary jazz musician, but he had passed away before a time or era of Bossa Nova. So there is simply Charlie Parker couldn't play Bossa Nova because he is already passed away. So, but the Murakami loved both music, Charlie Parker's jazz music and also Bossa Nova. So he imagined, if Charlie Parker plays Bossa Nova, what kind of music does it like? So and then with that imagination, but actually it's not Murakami himself, much more this narrator wrote fake record review of the Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. And this review is really, really fascinating. But so, and then with that record, after published in independent university magazine, and after that, the narrator graduated from a college, and after that, he turned out to be a writer like Murakami. And when he visited New York City, he just by chance discovered that the record, literally same name, which he invented many, many years ago. Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. Of course, he thought this is a fake or some kind of a trick, because there's no such a record, Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. And that record itself is not a good, how to say, genuine, authentic one. Somebody just made it. And by some unknown reason, that fake record is displayed in the actual record shop in New York City. So at first, he thought this is interesting, but this is just a fake thing. So he forget about it and leave it to the store. But the experience lingering his mind, and then he tried to get back to record store, but already the store is closed. And the next day, he visited same store, and asked about that record. But the shop master doesn't recognize that record, because he's a very good at jazz. And so when the narrator asked, was there any record which called Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova? Of course, the shop staff thought he just make fun of him, because there's no such a record of Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. So simply this narrator gave up and going back to Japan. That's some episode. And finally, there's another episode appear in this short story. So after the New York experience, many years later, this narrator or protagonist had a dream about Charlie Parker. In his dream, Charlie Parker appeared and say thank you to the narrator, because of he invented this fake record. And in his imagination, Charlie Parker could play the bossa nova, and the Charlie Parker very feel thank you to that kind of imagination. And then so with his gratitude, he played the same music, that music that the narrator invented, Charlie Parker Plays Bossa Nova. And their performance is amazing. There is a story. And Charlie Parker finally says thanks to him, and their dreams had ended. This is the story. Interesting, isn't it? So how should we enjoy it more deep reading? So let's listen Charlie Parker. If you're not familiar with Charlie Parker, just Google it, or you can find it. You can search on YouTube. So there is so many playlists of Charlie Parker, and that is simply amazing. I really like him. And also listen to Bossa Nova. Speaking of Bossa Nova, the one very famous Bossa Nova musician is Stan Getz. And actually, it's not widely known fact, but in Japan, last year, 2 years ago, there's Stan Getz a biography had published, and that biography or memoir is translated by Murakami himself. So in that sense, Murakami is really into bossa nova music. So it's and the bossa nova is very famous, and there are a lot of many fun. But if you are not familiar with bossa nova music, let's search it and enjoy it. And also listen to Beethoven Piano Concerto No. 3, third movement. So why this classical music appeared, this jazz story is when Charlie Parker appeared in narrator's dream, he mentioned about this music, Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 3, third movement, because Charlie Parker thought some part of this classical music is really swinging. Swinging means really the jazz feeling, jazz vibes. So big things. And the Charlie Parker appeared in narrator's dreams. Thought this Beethoven piano concert number 3 third movement and some part of it is really swinging. So you can't tell which part of it, but when you listen it, you can imagine which part of it, this classical music is really swinging. I have my own thoughts anyway. So let's try it. It's really interesting way to deeply enjoy this Murakami's interesting story. So thank you for watching. Like I said, this is my first video of 2012. So I hope this video make you want to read and listen to very many fantastic music. So if you like it, I would appreciate it if you subscribe my channel. So thank you for watching again. So let's see next my video. Thank you. Bye.